What's good, guys? This is Nightwing2303 from WearTesters.com, and you know that I had to grab a pair of these, especially after making our first impression or first thoughts of this shoe. If you have not checked that out, I don't only just detail my thoughts on this model right here, but just the Tinker series in general. So if you wanted to check that out and also leave your thoughts, I'm going to leave that video as an annotated link at the end of this video, so you can go ahead and just jump over once you're done here. As for the Black Cat shoe itself, I really dig these, especially in hand. And again, in that other video, I detailed that I just like this colorway. Like, this colorway is a classic among classics on the actual Air Jordan 13, and seeing them on this model really kind of turned my perception around, I guess you could say. Just like, I did not like the shoe at first when I first saw them, but when I saw them in this colorway, I was immediately like, okay, I think that those are dope. Somebody in the comment section actually of that previous video commented that they would love to see these in a Flint 13 type of colorway. I completely agree. I think that that would be gorgeous. So Jordan brand, if you're listening, come on, man, what are you waiting for, dude? Really play up that heritage thing. Stop giving us weird stuff. Give us things that make sense. As for this shoe itself, the first thing that I had to do is just take them on court. I literally got them in and I left because I was already going to the gym, but I went from here to the gym with these guys. I was supposed to play in the Hyperdunks and I was just kind of like, yo, I don't think so, Tim. I'm playing in these guys. And I have to say, they are very good, but these joints are bricks, bro. Like, these are hella heavy, especially when you're comparing the two. These feel really lightweight in comparison to these. These are so bottom heavy, it's kind of crazy. The number one reason for that is there is a ton of rubber. That whole red thing right there, I thought that it might be a TPU torsional plate or something like that because there was no carbon fiber that was visible, and it's not. It's just all rubber. The whole thing is rubber. It's really weird. But as far as actual traction is concerned, these things were awesome, man. The floor that I played on wasn't super clean or anything. There was quite a lot of dust. I didn't have to really wipe these more than like twice, and I was there for like 3 hours. Outdoors, these things gripped like crazy as well. Reminded me quite a bit of these guys, but I will say that these actually grip better than the actual 13s. And then what we have for cushion is what they call a double lasted midsole. That means that the midsole itself is internal. You cannot see it, so much like an Air Foamposite, the Air Jordan 21, and things of that nature. And what a double lasted midsole was actually intended for is so that the upper and your foot connect with that midsole and really create a real one-to-one fit. That, coupled with the internal hidden lacing system, it really did a great job of that, I gotta say. Strap or no strap, like, it really didn't need it. Having the strap on there was not a bad idea though. It does add some midfoot lockdown, but again, most of that is covered with that double lasted midsole setup, as well as the hidden internal lacing system. What I believe the midsole is made out of is Phylon, very traditional, much like the Air Jordan 13. And then the cushion source comes from the heel, which is Zoom Air, and then there is nothing in the front, and that's the main problem with the shoe. That's really the only problem besides the overall like weight and kind of clunkiness, is that these guys really do need some cushion, like for real. They are really bottom heavy, they're kind of slappy, like a little clunky, and after 3 hours, my feet were like screaming at me, being like, bro, where's the Zoom Air at? I don't know, man. I didn't design the shoe, you know what I'm saying? I don't know what happened. The materials are exactly what you'd expect from the actual Air Jordan 13. We have that mesh upper right here with the synthetic suede wrapping it, so the upper itself is very light, but the bottom is not. Kind of a weird feeling when you're wearing it on foot. I don't know if you've ever worn a shoe that's like really bottom heavy, but this is definitely one of them. The tongue is actually an internal like kind of sleeve. Feels so nice on foot. I gotta say, when you stick your foot in these guys, man, it just like really hugs it and everything. It just feels awesome. Better than the 13? Yes, it is. Kind of weird to say, but it is. The hologram or cat's eye, I personally like way more on the actual Air Jordan 13. I feel like that real hologram with the Jumpman and the 23 in there, it's so iconic and kind of synonymous. It's one of my favorite things on the actual Air Jordan 13 other than the outsole. And while this little hologram really does push that green eye or cat's eye flare, it just doesn't have the same effect, at least to me. So that's something that I really would have loved to have seen on this model besides some actual cushion. But again, this is a concept shoe. I don't believe this was actually intended for performance. I think that this was kind of something that was released for collectors and fans, something to give a little bit of a different flavor and kind of like see into the mind of Tinker Hatfield, one of the greatest shoe designers of all time. The funny thing is that this being a concept, had they actually done these right with like real cushion and everything, these could have been one hell of a crazy crazy basketball shoe. This is stability and traction and lockdown on point. Speaking of stability, there's tons of it, dude. Like, these pods are everywhere. The medial stability is insane. Lateral stability is there. If we're talking about just stability alone, these guys right here, just about on par, if not maybe a little bit better than the actual Air Jordan 13 itself. If I had to choose one to play in, I would definitely go for the actual Air Jordan 13. Again, the cushion, the weight, those two things definitely are better than the concept version or the Tinker version, the Black Cat, whatever the hell you want to call it. Visually, these are way better as well. Although I will say I wish that the red on these guys was just as bright as these, because that's something that the originals did have. And these guys just, I mean, they tried, but it's just not quite there. Whereas these guys actually put the 3M back in the mesh. These guys do not have that. I would really love it if these guys popped with that 3M. I think that they would just be like off the charts awesome, like way better than what they actually are. I would have also have liked to seen a little bit of leather somewhere. I don't know where it would have fit, but that's just a personal preference. But again, this is the actual shoe. This is the concept. I think it's so cool that we got a concept shoe plus the actual shoe, and you can really see like where that train of thought was. If this was the actual Air Jordan 13, given that they dropped the weight a little bit, removed the strap, and added some forefoot cushion, these would have been just as beastly as these guys. As far as sizing is concerned, go down half a size, straight up. These things run hella long. I went down half a size, they fit me perfectly, especially once they stretch out and break in a little bit. If you go true to size and you plan on playing in them, you're not gonna enjoy these things, straight up, just being honest. Also, swap out the insole right away. Give yourself something that has some forefoot cushion if you do choose to play in these, because you will need it. Trust me. And that pretty much takes care of it for my take on the Jordan Black Cat. Again, if you really want to hear my real thoughts on the whole Tinker series in general, click the next video at the end of this one. It'll head you over there where I just kind of discuss everything. These guys retail for $150 for what they are. I think that they're a decent shoe. Again, maybe for just kind of collectors, a shelf piece. Real Jordan fans, if you're looking for a bang for your buck hoop shoe, look somewhere else. He got Game 13s. I'd play in those any day of the week. These guys right here, just kind of more of a novelty item. You know what I mean? Like, it's cool to have. It's cool that they made this, but it's not as functional as the real deal. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thanks for all your support. If you have these, let me know what you guys think about them. Did you play in them, or are they just a casual shoe or a shelf shoe for you? Sound off below and let me know. Thank you so much for watching. Thanks for all your support, and until next time, guys, have a good one.